Hello, everyone. Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. Come on in and welcome. Say hello down in the chat. As always, I absolutely love when you engage. So let me know where you're tuning in from. Hello, everybody. This is the Masterpiece Lounge with Chrisnatha, and I am your hostess, Chrisnatha Derosier. I am also a certified life coach, author, and speaker, and I am excited for another segment. So today is no different. Welcome, everyone. I'll give you just a few moments for you to join us. Hello. Welcome. All right. So we're going to just jump right in. So, this month we're focusing on motivation, planning for success, being intentional, setting goals, and all of the things. And so, today we're going to talk about motivation. What is it? And we're going to share a few podcasts that can help you stay motivated, give you the content that you need to get you going. We know that motivation isn't all that we need on our journey of success, but it is something that is important. So I'm going to jump right in, and I first want to define what motivation is. What is motivation? Why is it important? So I'm going to just share that just a little bit, and then we're going to just hop right in into the rest of the content. All right. So talking about motivation, it is important to be motivated so that we can accomplish our goals. However, a lot of times we look for motivation and then we stop there, right? We look for motivation, then we stop there. It's imperative that we don't stop at motivation. There will be moments in our lives, during the day, during our journey, that we don't feel motivated. And that's where discipline will come in. Moments where we don't feel motivated, it's important that we have discipline to do what we need to do to reach our desired goals. But today, specifically, we're talking about motivation. And motivation is finding ways to increase motivation is important because it allows us to change our behavior, develop competencies, be creative, set goals, like we mentioned, grow interests, make plans, develop habits and traits, even talents, and it also boosts our engagement. So there's a lot of benefits into being motivated. So having that feeling and that push to keep going and to reach your goals is important. However, it doesn't stop there. And we'll talk about discipline at another time in depth. But today we're going to talk about motivation, and I want to share a few podcasts that will help you to be motivated, right? It'll help you to have motivation. It'll be the right content that you need to help push you further along on your journey. We know how important it is in terms of what we allow into our minds, into our hearts, right? And what we're listening to, what we're watching. We want to be intentional all around this year and what we're listening to, what we're taking in, the messaging that we are receiving is important. And so I want to touch on a few different podcasts that will definitely help you with remaining motivated. Now, this is just the list. Of course, there's so many more podcasts that will help. And you can also share your favorite podcast in the chat so that we can share with each other. We can go ahead and exchange information and help one another because I don't have all of the answers. And so we can help one another know, what are you listening to? What's helping you get through the day? What is pushing you to reach your goal? So the first podcast that I wanted to share is called Gold Digger. It is called Gold Digger, not Gold Digger, but Gold Digger. And so let me tell you a little bit about this podcast. So, business consultant Jenna Kutcher, she talks about marketing, social media, money, branding, and so much more. So, this is a podcast for entrepreneurs. If you are in business, this is for you. All right. So, there's discussions with other experts and talks about taking time off, pivoting your career path, which I know a lot of us have had to do over the last few years, Instagram strategies, things that will help you in different seasons of the year. So there's a lot of good information that you can find on this particular podcast, entrepreneurs and business owners. That'll be good for you. The next podcast that I think is awesome for motivation is by someone that I hope that we all know. I think we all know her. And it is Oprah Winfrey. And it is Oprah's Super Soul Conversations. Me personally, Oprah's Super Soul Sundays and all of these Super Soul conversations over the years have really been such a huge blessing and help in my personal life. And so I also always love to hear what she has to say. So if you're looking for spiritual, mindful motivation, practicing mindfulness, and learning more about that, you can count on Oprah to do just that. So she has interviews with gurus, fitness experts, and wellness experts as well. She talks with celebrities. So if you're into that type of podcast, um, that's definitely one to check out. It will leave you inspired. So that is another one that you can check out for motivation. The next podcast that I want to talk about is Side Hustle Pro. Side Hustle Pro. So Side Hustle Pro is a another podcast that to help with motivation as well. And the host is Nicaila Matthews Okome. And Nicaila tackles topics that addressed things that affect Black women and Black women who are in business, Black women entrepreneurs. The host invites guests, and that varies, but it's always inspiring. Talks about career journeys, turning your passion into a business. So if you're somebody who's trying to start a business, wanting to start a business, and you're trying to figure out where do I start, that's definitely a podcast you want to check out as well. And all of the ones I've listed so far, you can find them either on Apple or Spotify. All right. And so the next podcast that I wanted to share with you today is The Lively Show. The Lively Show. So that's another podcast that is helpful with motivation as well. And the host, Jess Lively, is a former career coach. And Jess basically spent a decade following the whole rise and grind work mentality before she realized that it was not sustainable. So if you're looking for balance or the best balance possible, because we know perfect balance doesn't exist, this is a great podcast to check out. She aims to offer a more holistic approach to your life. And she's had topics that includes finding your inner peace, identifying toxic dynamics and breaking them as well. So this is, I want to say, like a more inner, introspective, even spiritual podcast, but it helps motivate you to become the best version of yourself as well. And you can find it on Apple. The next podcast that I want to share with you today to help you with your motivation so you can remain motivated is Happier. Happier is another podcast. So you can check out Happier. And so hopefully these are some podcasts that you haven't listened to or tuned into yet. And I'm introducing you to some new ones, and you can introduce me to some new ones as well in the chat and let me know so I can check them out. But this podcast is Happier. And the host is Gretchen Rubin. All right. So she has a following of like 100 plus, I don't know, million in terms of like downloads for her podcast. So that means it's doing something right. She's a best-selling author. She has a book called The Happiness Project. So happiness is very key and a central component of this podcast. And so there's advice that's offered on how to be creative, productive, but also to be happy and to be fulfilled in your heart, in your life. And so if you are in that space in your life in this moment, you're trying to figure out, what do I need to be fulfilled, or I want to tap into another part of myself. definitely check out Happier. That's a podcast you can find on Apple. Okay, so make sure that you check that out. Talks about meditation and tips on actually enjoying work life balance, if balance is even a real thing that exists. Okay. Um, the next podcast that I wanted to share with you that I think is also super helpful for motivation is the Michelle Obama podcast. Who does not love Michelle Obama? We all do. I'm sure we can all relate that she is awesome. And so, with that being said, if you didn't know, now you know. Michelle Obama does have a podcast. So you can go ahead and check that out. And, it's all things Michelle Obama. We love her. She's our forever first lady. She's a best selling author. And yeah, it talks about relationships, community, gender. It's very heartfelt, it's candid conversations with the guests that she has. And so, yeah, I definitely want you to check it out. You can find it on Spotify and see if you like it. I believe she also had an episode with the former president, her husband, President Barack Obama, as well. So you find that on Spotify. Check that out, and hopefully you enjoy it. All right. And let's see, there is one more. Well, there's a few more. There's like two or three more. So there's another one called Unlocking Us. Unlocking Us. So if you haven't checked that out, you can go ahead and check out Unlocking Us. It's another podcast to help with motivation for you this year. The best-selling author and vulnerability expert, Brene Brown. I'm sure you all know her. She is incredible. If you don't know her, go find out who she is. She's basically the guru when it comes to life improvement, inspiration, and being vulnerable. So her podcast really kind of delves into the ideas that include what brings people together, what it means to be a human being, how to be more vulnerable with people in our lives. And she discusses this through stories, books, films, music, and everything else, right? So, Unlocking Us, it's really introspective. I love everything that she does. And so, this is a great podcast as well. You can also find this podcast on Spotify. And ladies, you can find there's another podcast called Super Women with Rebecca Minkoff. So that is also something, if you're into women empowerment, that's something you can check out as well. And that's pretty much all of my podcast recommendations for 2023. There's so many more. There's so many more podcasts, guys. I mean, you already know podcasts are so popular. And so there's so many, but those are just a few for motivation that I wanted to share with you. So if you haven't been familiar or you haven't tuned into any of them, that you can check them out and see what you think so that we can make sure we are being mindful of what we are taking in, the content that we are listening to this year, because we want to be our best selves. We want success in every aspect of our lives. And that's going to happen if we are intentional, if we are being mindful of what we're taking in, and that we're being practical with the good stuff that we're taking in. All right. So that's all that I have to share with you guys today in today's segment. Let me know what you're listening to, what podcast is your favorite. If I didn't list it, let me know about it so I can check it out. Put it in the comments. All right, guys. So that is all we have for you this week, but we will be back same place, same time next week. So be sure to tune in, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Once again, I'm Chrisnatha Derosier, certified life coach, author, and speaker. And I will see you again very soon. All right. So, guys, take care. God bless, and have a great day.